Hello, everyone. Irene Krauss playing as Athena Artis, back with you, finally, after a very prolonged absence. Uh, Suffice to say, I've been dealing with a number of illnesses over this past, well, more than a year now. And let it go at that. We are here with Surviving the Aftermath. Needless to say, the game has undergone a lot of changes while I have been ill. So we're going to deal with the game as it stands today, and we're going to start a new game, which we're going to use as a normal. And we're going to skip the tutorials, of course. Now, I've been doing a lot of debating over, seeing as so much has changed, and I've been catching a few people complaining that the really challenging settings seem to be the one that trouble people the most. So we're going to actually play on the apocalypse setting for the first decision. For catastrophes, we will back off just a little bit to frequent catastrophes and to a barren wasteland for the environment. Yeah, let's stick with scarce starting resources and few survivors. Now, for ideology, you could actually, all of these are quite interesting. And at some point in time, I hope I will be able to feature a playthrough with one of these. But for this one, let's stick with our basic survival skills. And I do like to start with a specialist, a fighter, simply because you can get critters and things like that in your colony almost, well, very early on. So this is going to give us a difficulty rating of 130%. We're going to call our colony Kraus Haven. And for a motto, well, let's just see. We'll go with that one. So here's our summary of what we're going with. As you can see, it is going to be a very big challenge. You'll notice now we do have the map seed indicated. Hopefully that if I get one that is what I would consider unplayable, I will use the same settings but generate a different one with getting a different map seed. So let's start and see what we get. And here's our starting cinematic with our lone settler. And we have a very large pile of plastics that I can see. I can't. That looks like, yeah, that's pollution right there. So I guess I am going to have to go over to this side to get away from that pollution. Let's see if I can get our view kind of oriented here. There. So let's generate our campsite. Yes, the campsite can be moved at a later time, if you so choose. I generally don't do that. Boy, and that plastic is going to really be in the way. Let's bring the campsite down as far as I can then. Simply, I don't like to get it too close to the gate, but I want it to be because I like to put my housing fairly close to the campsite. Now this is let me pause the game so I could talk here. This is the initial area that we have open to us. And there is all of the colony is not unlocked immediately anymore. It must be scouted. Through the campsite, you'll get, well, it's a fairly good distance, but not that much. In order to expand the unlocked areas, you will need to build either scouting towers or guard posts, those sort of things, so that you can expand your open area. And actually, I might want to put my housing over in here. There's a little bit of pollution there, but not much. And it's not very far from the campsite. I got a big pollution pile over there. It's a fairly nice and open area without any plastics or anything in it. Or I suppose I could go right up in here. That's got pollution on all sides. I'm also looking, well, I've actually got a couple of water pools here. This is a nicely wooded area, which would be good for my trapper. I don't know if that's quite big enough that I'd want to put my fishery in there. I think I'll put my housing up in this area. I know there's all this pollution on all sides, but I think I like, well, I really like this area though too. Looks like there might be pollution right there. I could just see a hint of pink there. But that's got pollution all around it. This has got pollution on, looks like just 3 sides. This might be a better one for a housing area. Okay, so let's go ahead and shoot our flare to bring in our inhabitants. And there we go.
Your first.
We've reached a milestone.
Now, one thing these areas are excellent at is I am going to put my water collector. Well, maybe I should bring it over here. That's 14%. And that's 14%. Let's put it there. Okay, that's the water collector. Now, over here is where I'm going to be building my housing. So let's use this first stockpile sort of as a bit of a buffer between where my housing's going to be and that particular pollution bit. And if I'm going to be pulling, actually either one of these looks to be really nicely wooded. I'm not sure which one's going to be better. So let's just put our food storage, our free one that we get there. And okay, now let's point that there. And this this. We're going to point the work area. No. Let's see if I can get all of those in there. And I think what I will do is tell you to collect that wood pile.
Yes.
And you can get that wood pile. Okay. Now I do need to put in additional sources of water, which would be some water wells. And there's a green area right smack right here. And no, there's no pollution there. So we'll definitely be putting one. Where's the highest? Right there, I guess, is the highest. Okay. I think I could get one out in here. Yes. Oh, this is a much higher. Very nice. Let's put that there. Well, what about out here? It's yellow. It's not green. Okay. What I want to build first, though, and I am going to build that right out here. Took me a long time to realize this, that the medical tent does not require to be heated to work. I assume that is because they do light a fire inside. And we're going to build that first because we only have a very limited amount of plastics right at the outset. And I want to make sure that they get that medical tent built as quickly as possible. So we have some way to let people who might be injured or sick to recover. And the next thing we're going to put in is our recycler. And we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'm going to put one right there, but I will put in an additional stockpile out. Oh, I guess that might be berries there. Now I've given them a lot of things to do. So we want to get this one done first. And there we go. Looks like we've got another builder running over here. The colonist highlighted in blue like this is usually the one performing some task in connection with a particular building that you're looking at. There we go. And now we want this one built next. Yeah, see, we've already just about run out of plastic. So there, now we are waiting for them to build.
What's up?
Collect from this one.
Ready.
And collect from this one. Okay, we're going to put an extra person in here for right now. And point them at those two plastic piles right there. So now we should be getting more plastic. Oh, that's a mouse.
Your orders?
Where did it go? I just saw it right there. There we go.
Reporting in.
And you come over here, and in case she gets, there's a swarm there that I can't see. Looks like it was just the one mouse. Okay. So
Yes?
we'll get you back to work here.
Your command?
And go after that pile of wood. Okay, this stockpile is now done. Point that at that. I don't have enough people to go and put into a lumber yard just yet. Okay. Looks like I'm also getting at least one water well built. I want to get at least one more done. Okay, what I'm going to do now is put in my tents. Put one there. One there. I got my 2 free tents built. And I'm going to want to put my trapper up in there. Let's get that pile. Yep, somebody got sick.
How may I help?
I think our at least 2 of our water wells are done. Okay, this is my stockpile. Like that over here, I guess. No, there wasn't much meat on that rat carcass, but it's good. And we need to get the last tent built. Oh, and there we have a bear.
Yep. Reporting in.
Let's get our bear before he can attack anybody. Some critters, like the mouse, as you may have noticed, didn't automatically attack people. Others, like bears, boars, those sort of things, they will attack on sight. Sandworms are particularly nasty. I think this might be a nice place for our fishery, which means I should probably put another food storage building out in here. Okay, we've got our 4 tents, our initial ones built. Here comes our trapper. Okay. Now the trapper and hunting building. And yes, I have enough people to put 2 in here. Hold on. Let's talk about this first. It works best, as I said, when it's associated with a large wooded area. So let's look at what we've got. Well, that's 100% efficient right there. So let's put it right there. Okay, what have we got? We've got a commotion in the camp.
Suddenly,
Oh.
muffled cries for help start echoing from one of the shelters. Inside, a large hole has opened up in the ground, swallowing the poor colonist.
Well, we're going to build a makeshift ladder. And we did rescue him. Hole was filled in, and that produced 20, an increase of happiness. Happiness is a very important factor. If you look at this, is our overall summary of happiness. As you could see right now, they are not very happy with their shelters, and they are sleeping on the ground. But they do agree with what I've done so far. At least so far, we don't have anybody that's hungry or malnourished or mutated, at least at this time. But that, of course, could change at just about any time. Now, I will be getting very frequent catastrophes based upon the settings I've chosen. I think I will build an additional medical tent, but I don't need to keep it staffed all the time. Now, each medical tent can only take care of 2 patients at a time. Even with extra additional nurses in there, there's just not enough room inside the medical tents to cover a lot of patients. There we go. We got some more berry bushes marked for pickups. Right now, the main source of our food is berries. Hopefully we will, once they get going with our trapper, we'll start having a steady... Oh! Now I'm going to have to take this person out of here so I have a carrier available. And I have to mark that for repair. I'm going to take my extra person out of here for right now and repair this one. I don't know if anything else. I'm going to use one of my overlays for the first time here. We're going to turn on the building health one. Now, as you can see, those two that are damaged look a little bit more yellow. And this one apparently took some damage as well. So, I'm checking that well looks okay there. Did this take damage? Yeah, that took damage too. That well looks okay. Oh, this one looks like it took damage too. Look at how green they are. That's the best advice I could give you. And, okay, let's turn our overlay off. And that's why I took that extra person out of the plastic, off the plastic production, because that's an awful lot of repairs that I'd like to get done pretty quickly. I need carriers running around to do those things. Oh, yes. I need to build an outhouse, actually several of them. And I usually like to put the outhouses, because outhouses are one of those building types that will cause pollution. So I think I'll put them out in here. I only build these one at a time, though, because I don't want all of my free carriers running over to do this right now. I do want them to finish with whatever repairs I've got queued up at this time. I've got one person that's injured. Let's go ahead and tell them to build this one next, simply so we can get one built and ready to go. Yes, I will be building not only more of those, but improved ones and so forth. There are so many things that you cannot build initially. You have to get science points, as they are called, and to unlock things through your tech tree. And as you could see, we're going to need a lot of science points in a number of different areas to get things. For example, in the early release of this game, you had both the metal and the concrete unlocked right at the beginning of the game. Now those must be researched before you can unlock them to use them. So there's my first outhouse. So we're going to let them build the next one, but I won't put a priority on it. They have one. Because I want my repairs to get done. Looks like they've got all of the wood brought over for this repair. And I'm waiting for them to come over and actually do the repair. They've got the plastic moved over for that repair. I think they did the one for the well already. Yeah, that's done already. So they're making progress on repairs. Now here comes the trapper. Okay, that's done. Now, do I see any other signs of repair work that needs doing? No. I think they caught up to date with the repairs, so I could put my extra person back to work in the recycler so we can start generating more plastic. Looks like they're building my other outhouse. So now I have two. And yes, you could see that these are generating contamination. I have to keep an eye on them manually at this point. Yes, there is a way you can set someone up to do automated maintenance, but that has to be unlocked. I don't know if I can stretch this over. No, I can't quite get it over there to get that bear carcass in there. Oh well.
Uh-huh.
We'll set
Yes.
someone to go get that directly. Let's see, where can I find another pile of wood for you to collect from? Oh, goodness. Excuse me. Allergy season's kicking in. Loads of fun. Now for the gate. Excuse me. How we doing food-wise? Oh, much better. I think I'm gonna have you get some fruit. Now, to build our gate, we are going to need...
We've reached a milestone.
Oh, we've had a baby born. Might be gonna have to build another house. A tent here. Anyway. To build our gate, we're going to need 190 pieces of wood, which we've almost got, and 175 plastic, which is going to take some time to do. Now, I do want to do that I want to make sure that they are not putting food or hold on, I'm getting there. I'm making sure that they're not dumping everything under the sun into the campsite because there's a limited amount of storage there. Okay, something is off with a shelter.
Not everybody is equally skilled in the art of building, but one of the colonists seems extraordinarily bad at it.
Well, let's go ahead and improve his tent for him. Well, he's not very happy about it, but everybody else is. So we've improved our happiness. You'll note that this also, I think that was the birth of the baby. We've started unlocking some of our decorations. Scroll it over here, get the last one confirmed. I generally do not build too. It does increase happiness a little bit. I usually don't waste too much time with that early on. It will be something I do as things get further along. Now we're going to have our first big disaster, which is a nuclear fallout. And of course, they're reminding us that we need to have iodine pills to treat the radiation sickness. We've got only 2 left at this point. I don't remember, I think it was something like 10 that we started with. They've already been used by some people that have gotten ill in our colony. Which is one of the reasons why I wanted to build the second medical tent, so that we can treat more people as they start getting sick. Looks like we have enough wood cut. Almost enough plastic. I'm going to go ahead and let them get started on bringing resources over for the gate. And we do have enough plastics, so I'm going to take my additional person out. Ooh, this is getting rather contaminated. Yeah, that's quite near some pollution. I'm going to have to keep an eye on that. And I think I'm going to put that extra person to work right away in my medical tent, so that when this disaster starts, I've got 2 nurses, 1 in each of the medical tents available. How are they doing on scouting? Looks like they've scouted as far as they can with the campsite. And we've had someone stealing planks.
Someone seems to have been stealing wood from the storage. A few colonists go to investigate, and after a bit of detective work, return with a group of rowdy children, one under each arm.
Well, kids are kids the world over. They're going to find something to do with their free time. And apparently they're getting rather creative with some planks. I'm going to leave it alone. We can spare those. And that's going to make the kids happy, the parents happy, because of course the kids are going to be out of their hair. So. And here's our disaster starting. Yeah, we're doing okay with water. That's the other thing to concern. We need to keep an eye on the water consumption. Right now, well, our consumption is jumped because of the nuclear fallout. Or maybe not. I can't remember right now offhand. But anyway, we're producing more than enough water. And they almost have enough of everything moved over. And people are starting to get sick. Yes, we do have a medical facility built. Not sure why it's prompting me to do that. The weather is quickly changing.
The weather in the aftermath is unpredictable, but these clouds seem to have appeared out of nowhere. Dark droplets hissing on every surface they strike start pouring down.
Oh dear. Let's create a makeshift armor. But that makes people happier. It did cost us, unfortunately. It looks like the last of our spare clothing. Well, that is going to become a problem, but there's not much I could do about it. Now, I do not have... You have to be able to research to unlock both your tailor and your tool shop. You just can't build them from the outset. And obviously, I can't get any science points. The main way of getting science points is through the world map. We've got everything positioned for our gate. But I've got 7 people sick. I'm just going to have to let them take as long as it's going to take to build with my one lone builder. Because I am not taking that extra person out of the medical tents. There's the end of that. What I could do is take my extra person out of the trapper. I have 5 people sick. With 2 medical tents, I'm only getting 4 people treated. Because 2 in each building. So I want to make sure that they're getting treated as quickly as they can, though.
Congratulations.
And there we go.
You've rebuilt.
We've reached a milestone. There are survivors at the gate.
Yes, there are.
A ragged bunch shuffles slowly towards the gate.
Okay, so we have in this group, we have a scavenger, a specialist. His attack skill is very, well, low, but he has excellent scavenging skills and not bad for speed. Research is also quite good. He makes an ideal specialist for our world map, just for scouting and so forth. We also have 7 adults, 4 children, no elders, some resources, a few tools, some clothing, oh, and some iodine pills. Excellent. We'll probably use those up very quickly, though. Okay. Now I need to put an additional person into my gate. Now, did I get someone back in here? No, not yet. There they go. Now, do I want to put a second person? I can't have the people I could do it for right now. Oh, and look at that. It's contaminated. So we're going to decontaminate that. There we go. I need to get my last outhouse built. I forgot to unlock that. And I'm actually going to put in looks like this one needs decontamination, as does that one. I'm going to put in another one, but I'm going to wait just a bit. Now, we're going to need to put in our burner out here. So I'm going to put right there. And then we're going to put in we're going to need probably 4 more tents. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, so that's enough stuff to work on. Let's get him out to the world map. Now, I'm going for those science points first.
Roger.
And what we're going to have them research as the first thing, we're going to queue all of that up. First thing will be Guardians, which is to the upgrade for our scouting post, up through nurses, and then medical training. And then they are now researching Guardians. Maybe I should put in another water well. This is yellow. That's too close to another one. It's a 9. That's awfully close to a pollution pile. I think I'll wait. Okay, we've got our... There's another tent. 2 tents finished.
We've made a new discovery.
Okay, now we have Guardians unlocked. I do want to build my first guard post. Usually the first one I want to look for is where do I want to build my fishery. I think I'd like to put the fishery... Well, neither... They're both good. I think that's where I was going to put it. So... We'll get that area explored. Excuse me, now I got the hiccups. Okay. Don't see much of anything. Alright, so let me just bring that back over here. Okay. Looks like you got all of those tech points already.
Mission complete.
So let's first grab these
Sounds
tools.
good.
Then we'll get the clothing. Bring those into our colony. And then be ready to move on to further afield in the world map. Yes, we need to unlock sectors within the world map. A lot of things to do. Look like we just about have looks like they're getting ready to build our burner too. Oh, which reminds me, I need to build my lumber yard. Now this is where all my hunting activities is going on. So I don't want to disturb that wood pile. But there's all this wood over here. So we're going to put our lumber yard there. And this is where our stockpile, where all of that wood is going to be going. So I will put the logging camp, which is going to be turning our wood into firewood for us for the winter to burn, to keep our housing heated. They have to have wood cut. So they're going to be pulling wood from this stockpile that the lumber yard's going to be putting in there. And they'll turn it into firewood for us, which again is going to go right back into that same stockpile. So I might actually have to end up putting a second one there because I
There's a
think
new
our
quest available.
plastics is going in there as well, so they might actually run out of room. Okay, the quest we have is Scorched Earth.
There's a thick pillar of smoke on the horizon. Whether it's a wildfire, a distress signal, or something else, checking it out might be for the best. So whatever's causing it doesn't catch the colony by surprise.
Doesn't sound good. We're going to investigate that. Hopefully it's not a big brush fire. We're getting... Oh! And we're being attacked. It looks like it's beetles. Okay.
Ready.
I can't... Oh, there's another one.
We've made a new discovery.
Looks like they're attacking my
Reporting in.
outhouses. Well,
We've lost.
okay. I don't know. These are pretty badly damaged. Okay, let me turn on my overlay. Looks like that tent got some damage. What else got damaged here? That's okay, I guess. That one's okay. It looked a little yellowish. I don't see any other signs of damage. Okay, we're going to turn our overlay off now. I think we've got everything queued up that needs to get queued. Let's see, I don't have any wood anywhere? Other than this.
Yep.
Just one piece of wood there. And we're going to get our built next. Oh, we've got a mouse right there.
All right. We've made a new discovery.
Okay, we've gotten medical training unlocked. So we've got our upgrade for the tents in that we can put in additional nurses and faster treatment. Now, there's an awful lot of things I'm going to need to get unlocked, but I think at this point I'm going to get both my upgrade for my trapper unlocked so that I could start collecting fiber to make clothing, and also basic farming. Get those two things unlocked. Okay, here comes our lumber yard as soon as we get a builder over here. Okay, it looks like he's collected those tools.
Job done.
So we want you to come over now and get this clothing.
Got it.
Comes our lumber yard. Okay. And I am going to put 2 people in here for at least now. Now, I don't want to interfere with this area. I do want to get all of these trees harvested that are right here in around my campsite. Looks like I've almost got my upgrade. Oh, it's rabbit season.
3 colonists explain they've been working on a new kind of a trap for hunting rabbits, and the group wants to set them outside the camp.
Well, I'm gonna let them do it. And we got 2 people sick with radiation sickness. Well, we've got a little bit of those iodine pills left.
We've made a new discovery. We've reached a milestone.
Yes. So there, now we have this upgrade for this unlocked, which I'm going to go ahead and let them do. And I'm going to set that to be the next priority. As you can see, we have 1 thing of firewood at this time. So as soon as we get... Yeah, that's fine. It's not... Okay, looks like he's collected those.
All done.
So we are going to return him to our colony so he could drop off all of that clothing and tools that he's just picked up. And then we're going to let him go back to the world map. And this is where our quest is. So let's go
How
ahead
may I help?
and scout the sector so we can get that area unlocked. How are they doing on our guard post? Well, they're getting there. Oh, good. They're building our upgraded trapper to our hunting cabin.
We've made a new discovery.
And farming is completed. Let me get this done. Because I'm going to have to figure out where I want to do my crop growing. Okay, and I'm definitely putting another person in here. And we're going to point this down here where 100% right there. Okay. Now, for growing crops, we want fertile soil. Now, there's a real scarcity of that, as you can see. That's the green areas. This looks to be the biggest green area that we have open right now. That's where all this wooded area is. This is not wood that we're using. Don't look like there's too much pollution there. So what I actually think I will do is point my lumber yard. I know I was pointing it there, but I'm going to point it over in here. Let them harvest that wood. That's a bit closer to where they are.